Well, hello there, dear one. This is Katrina. Welcome. Today we're talking about how to get motivation when you have none. It's really hard to get motivated, right? When you're trying to do something you really don't want to do, it's going to take a little more energy or effort. It's really hard to get motivated. And so you're like, oh, if I just had more motivation, right? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because right now, especially under extra states of stress, motivation is going to be potentially really low. So, what do? How do we get motivated? That's what we're going to talk about. Here's what you need to know. Okay, I'm going to tell you the truth right up front. Trying to muster up motivation doesn't work. There's no mustering of motivation ever. So instead, what we need to do, this is going to be toughy. You ready? We need to take action. Okay? Even if there's no motivation, we still have to take action because motivation is created by you. It's not something that just happens to you, okay? It doesn't come from the air. It doesn't come from the sky. It doesn't come from inside. Motivation happens by you. It's created. It's an action created by you. So listen, if you're struggling with motivation, here's what I want you to know what's going on in your brain. Because when I understand what's happening in my brain, what's happening biologically, what's happening hormonally or chemically, and it's causing me to feel a certain way or act a certain way, it really helps me to just look at things objectively and then take action accordingly. So I want to share what we know about stress. When your body is triggered by stress, here's something that happens. Lots of things happen in your body and your mind when you're stressed. But one of the things that happens is stress actually ignites the pleasure center of the brain. It stimulates the reward center of the brain. So when you are triggered by stress, you're going to want to seek pleasure. And so most often, something that we're going to reach for in those pleasure-seeking moments is going to be sugar or simple carbohydrates like, breads, chips, things like that. Because those are simple carbohydrates, simple sugars that when your body comes into your body, it quickly changes your blood sugar, and it helps that it just kind of helps balance things is what your brain is thinking it's going to do. So now your pleasure center is activated, which means you're going to want things that you really shouldn't be having, right? You're definitely not going to want to do something like reach for a salad or reach for an apple or reach for a glass of water or go for a walk because you want pleasure. And those things don't instantly bring pleasure. They bring long-term stress reduction and joy and happiness, but not instant pleasure like your brain is wanting. Here's something else that happens in your brain is that when you are under stress, your brain minimizes motivation because it's under stress and it's like, okay, we just need to stop doing anything else, and anything else that's not critical, we need to just stop doing. So if you're trying to do something like exercise or eat healthy or things like that, you're going to have a decreased motivation. So now under stress, we have increased desires and hunger and cravings, right? And we have decreased motivation, which basically means we want to sit on the couch and eat ice cream. So then we sit there and say, I just have no motivation, right? So then what happens? We just wait for it. But the problem is if we wait too long, we'll be waiting forever and we will never do what we really intend to do, which is take action to get healthy. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video is what's the solution here? If motivation is not just going to come to us, we have to create it. How do we create it? Well, you must take action. Despite there being no motivation going on, I'm not motivated, we still have to choose to take action because nothing in and of itself starts with motivation. And when we start taking action with God's strength, guess what? Then what we're after is we're after waiting for the result, because it's the result that we get from taking that action that's going to keep us motivated, okay? It's not the initial motivation that's going to make us do something. It's the taking action, which leads to a result, which is what's going to help us to actually continue to take action. It's a beautiful thing. Like when you start working out, it really kind of stinks for the first several days, right? But then suddenly you start feeling stronger. You start having more energy. You start feeling motivated. You start oh my gosh, this is actually working and it's not that hard. It's that action day after day after day of exercising that eventually leads to wanting you to stay motivated, to stay the course. mostly because not only do you not want to lose the results, but you just like, I don't want to go back to square one, right? And that's what can happen. And so I want to give you a little encouragement out of scripture. And today we are talking from 1 Corinthians, and we're in 1 Corinthians 9 on verse 24, where it says, "Don't you know that the runners in a stadium, they all race, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way to win the prize. Now, everyone who competes exercises self-control in everything. They do it to receive a perishable crown, but we an imperishable crown. So do not run like the one who runs aimlessly or box like one beating the air. Instead, I discipline my body and bring it under strict control so that after preaching to others, I myself will not be disqualified." So even Paul says, I discipline my body and bring it under strict control. And I think it's just encouragement for us that, like, he's not like waiting for someone. His motivation is the prize. Okay. That's what, like, this is what our motivation, like our why is really what our true motivation should be. So like, why do we even want to do this, right? That's really going to be the motivation. And what he's saying is racers are like motivated by the prize. And so if we're motivated by the prize, then that's going to be what kind of stimulates things to get us to begin to take action. Okay. What is your why? But then don't forget that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. If God has called you to it, if God has called you to restoring your temple, which I think he's calling all of us to, we don't have to wait to like hear his audible words that he's calling us to temple restoration. This is his holy temple and it deserves to be well cared for. And so we're going to ask for his strength. And I truly believe that if we have a heart to care for it, that he's going to give us that, strength to start taking that initial action. But listen, he's not going to do it for us. He's not going to take that first step for us. We must take the first action ourselves. And then we have to take the next step and then the next step. But don't think that you have to take some sort of a massive action. Okay. We can take small baby steps. And that's what I am totally about, is baby steps. And so we just need to take one action and then again and then again. And we're going to trust and we're going to await the result. We're going to await the breakthrough, trusting that our action, it matters. And it's restoring our temple and bringing it back to a place of health and healing. Okay? Your next step matters. Okay? The next right step matters. So I want to know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. What is it today? What is your next action step that you need to take today in the right direction towards a healthy, free life? What is it? It could be as simple as drinking a glass of water and then taking continued steps in your day to drink an adequate amount of water to stay hydrated. And then trust that as you drink water, that you're going to experience all of the results of drinking more water. You're going to have increased energy. Your body functions are going to be better. You're going to have more supple skin. You're going to start just feeling great. Your cravings are even going to be reduced just by simply hydrating. Okay? Any healthy step that we take, any step that we take towards choosing health is going to be one that absolutely will yield results. And when we take baby steps, it can become truly easy. So I want to know in the comments, what is your next step? Are you going to drink some water? Are you going to go out for a walk? Are you going to eat a healthy lunch? Are you going to eat a healthy dinner? Are you going to make sure that you have healthy snacks on hand? Are you going to go like trash all the things that are bringing you down out there in your pantry? Are you going to go trash all those? Yes, I know it seems kind of wasteful, but it's better that it goes in the waste can than on your waist. Am I right? So like, what is it? What is your next healthy action that you need to take? Who do you want to be, right? It's like, if we want to be a healthy woman, like that's really what we're after. Like the motivation is that we want to be a healthy woman. Why? Well, because of all the benefits being a healthy woman provides, right? We have more energy to do what we love to do. We're able to pour out from a place of abundance instead of a place of a lack. We're able to fulfill our God-given purpose. We're able to go and do and be all that God created us to be, right? A healthy woman can do all of those things. And so we want to become a healthy woman. Well, how do you do that? You act like a healthy woman does. And you say to yourself, what would a healthy woman do? And a healthy woman would complete 5,000 steps for a third day in a row. A healthy woman would drink water, continue healthy lunch choices. I love that. Yes. So this is what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be taking action to become a healthy woman, even though we don't necessarily feel it. Gotta ignore our feelings sometimes, even though we don't see it in the mirror yet. It can still come to pass as we continue to take strides and steps towards becoming and being a healthy woman. Why? For the glory of God. This is why we're doing this. It's all for the glory of God. We're going healthy, free life is about living and eating in a way that brings glory to God and worships Him in the process. And then our life can be a testimony of His goodness in our life. All right, so no more waiting for motivation. Instead, go take action. And I can't wait to see what the Lord does in you and through you as a result of each faithful step you take. All right, until next time, bye for now.